So, so I'm Brian Drolet, and in the back, actually, I refer to us as Felix and Oscar. In the back is Mark Reed, who's my cohort, and actually the real director of Deep Dish TV, who's going to take over in a minute. And so the way the day is going to go, we hope, is that we'll have 4 brief presentations this morning, which Mark will introduce. Then we're going to break up into discussion groups into sort of 4 corners of the room. And the moderators are going to be Mario Murillo and Dara Greenwald and Robin Anderson and David Gimbel. Am I missing somebody? Okay. And then we'll come back together again for about a 45-minute discussion. Then we'll have a lunch break. And then in the afternoon, we'll have 2 presentations, one by Dee Dee Halleck, who I'm pretty sure is going to get here soon. And then Andy Mignolo, who is one of my favorite geeks. Andy actually replaced me at Free Speech TV back in the day as the web director. But she ended up very, very sick this morning. So I think Jamie McCelland and Avery are going to give a little bit of a presentation to start off that discussion. So then we'll do the same thing. We'll have some breakouts into 4 groups. And then we'll have a larger discussion for about 45 minutes. And then we really want to leave here by 3:30. Mark and I and Dee Dee have to be up at MoMA by 4:30 to prepare for the presentation that we're giving at 5:15. There's a 2-hour presentation at MoMA as part of the documentary fortnight. All of you are on the guest list. So if you're not going to come, if you can't come, just tell me so that I know who's on the list and who's not. So having said that, I want to introduce Mark Reed. We hope that although we're very interested in charting a course for Deep Dish TV, we also think that the issues that we want to discuss and that we're just beginning to discuss, I don't think this is going to be conclusive in any way. Actually pertain to everybody that's doing media work and trying to serve the social movement. So we hope that this is beneficial for everybody as well as for us. So Mark,
thanks. My main job here is to direct your attention to your programs and make sure that you all have one, because in the top right corner there's a number, and that if you don't, make sure you get one. And also on the back of that program it says something like, "You are the network. What do you want? What do you bring?" And that's not said idly, really. I mean, if Deep Dish TV's core function, vital purpose, has always been to be a network of producers and organizers, and you are sort of that first order of people that comprise, I think, our network. And what do you bring? I mean, one of the reasons that we really, when the board got together and really brainstormed around what do we want to get out of this meeting, was when we came up with reigniting the network. We really want to get back to that core mission of Deep Dish TV being a network, and we want your help in reigniting that network. And so, what do you bring? And is it an idea? Is it a contact list? Is it a computer, G5, if you use a G5, use 10 grand, whatever it is, but that you can kind of bring into this network of producers and organizers, activists, social movement organizers, that have been doing this work for a quarter century now, and to keep that alive and vibrant and new. And also, because I'm a good anarchist and I believe in mutual aid as a first principle, really quite literally, what is it that Deep Dish TV, or this network, if you don't want to think of it as Deep Dish TV, just think of it as a network of like-minded producers and organizers. What can you get out of what we bring? What is it? How is it that we can support any work that you do? So we really are hoping that you guys take a minute with a pen and fill in those blank lines at some point during the day, at the end of the day, in the middle of the day. What is it that you think you can bring, and what is it that you think you can take away? So I just wanted to make sure I said that. And I'm going to briefly introduce the panelists. We've got 4 of them. I'm really, really happy they all decided to show up. and I'm really glad they're all together. The first one is going to be Steve Pierce. They're all going to be operating at their little computer screen as we tend to do these days. So they'll be speaking to the backs of your heads, and there's going to be somebody going on in front of you. But the first presenter will be Steve Pierce, who was the first director of Deep Dish TV, as you read in your program. And I still look back on thank you. I still look back on the series that Steve put together and the time, like how many series per year, like 92 fall, 92 spring. It's just unbelievable the amount of work that Steve, how much of the catalog is actually attributable to the years when Steve Pierce was executive director of Deep Dish TV. He was incredibly prolific and productive. And he's subsequently moved on to establishing the Media Sanctuary in Troy, New York, and he's going to talk a little about that. And the idea this morning is to look at best practices, like what's working out there. And we wanted to do some stuff that's sort of using new technology, but some work that's actually very, in some sense, old school, getting people together in a physical space to watch something and then talk about it. That's, goes back to the Film and Photo League. So Steve is invested in that sort of work, Media Sanctuary, and I'll just give it over to Steve. I don't think I can bring that mic back there for Steve if you want.
I'm going to go up front, that's fine.
All right, Steve's going to... Okay.
I'm sad that there's an updated bill and stuff like that.
All right, so without further ado, I introduce Steve Pierce.